Guys, we're back. Let me hit you with something. Did you know that 61% of millionaires in the UK drive cars that you'd never expect? But before I tell you what they actually drive, I want you to tell me. Drop me a comment below. What do you think most millionaires in the UK are driving? So be real, no Googling, no cheating, just your best guess. And what I'll do is, I'll reveal the answer later in the video, and trust me, it's going to catch you off guard. Because today, we're diving into 5 shocking millionaire stats that will prove one thing. Most wealthy people are all about stealth wealth. Because the truth is, real wealth moves in silence. So you're probably thinking, what's stealth wealth? Let's talk stealth wealth for a second. What is it, right? Stealth wealth is when you move low-key on purpose. No flexing, no attention, just quiet hustle and big results. I'd say it's the mindset of living below your means. Not because you're broke, but because you're smart. So you don't get the flashy cars. You don't have no designer overload. You don't feel like you need to prove anything to anyone. Have you ever met someone who's, I'd say, quietly loaded, right? Drives a regular car, wears simple clothes, lives in a modest house, maybe even works a 9 to 5, but behind the scenes, they've got serious money. That's what you call stealth wealth. So let me give you a quick stat. 5.5% of UK adults are millionaires. That's almost 3 million people just in the UK. Globally, that's close to 60 million. More than you think though, right? But they're not shouting about it. They're building in silence. So for this video, I went deep. Forbes, money saving expert, Fidelity, Ramsey Solutions, and even the National Study of Millionaires. Over 10,000 millionaires surveyed in this, right? So yeah, this isn't just an opinion. This is real data. But I'll give you my take along the way too. All right? So let's get into it. So 5 cold truths about what real wealth actually looks like and why you don't need to look rich to be rich. Fact 1. Most millionaires budget hard. Here's the thing. Most people think millionaires are out here blowing money. Big cars, fancy watches, dinners every night. But millionaires, no, majority millionaires, no. Over 90% of them track every pound that they spend. That's not a guess. Ramsey Solutions did a study and found that 93% of millionaires stick to a monthly budget and avoid debt like it's the plague. So let that sink in, right? They're not flexing just because they got paid. They live below the means. They stay in their lane and they invest the rest. It's simple. Have you ever seen someone get a raise and lease a brand new car that same week? Millionaires don't move like that. They keep it low key. They stack it up and they move smart. So be honest, do you even budget, or are you just winging it month to month? Because if you're trying to build wealth, that's where it starts. Fact 2, most millionaires are self-made. Because we need to clear this up, right? You do not need to come from money to make money. It's like 80% of millionaires came from middle or low class backgrounds, right? No silver spoon, no rich parents, no handouts. Most of them built it from scratch, step by step. Working jobs, saving, investing, making quiet moves behind the scenes. So if you've been telling yourself, right, I didn't grow up with money, so I'll never be rich, you need to stop that right now. Okay, because you see, that kind of mindset, that's what's keeping you broke. Honestly, the truth is, you don't need to come from it to go get it. What you do need, right, is belief, vision, and consistency. Like that's the foundation straight. Because once you truly believe it's possible to build wealth from exactly where you're standing, you've already separated yourself from 90% of people out here. Fact 3, millionaires invest consistently. Let me put it like this. Most millionaires aren't just saving, they're investing. According to Fidelity, 75% of millionaires invest at least 20% of their income every single month. So you see why most people are flexing on Instagram and TikTok. They're out here stacking wealth in silence. They're not chasing trends. They're buying assets that they know will grow over time. We're talking stocks, index funds, ETFs, real estate, businesses. So they're planting seeds now so they can cash out later. Because They understand something that most people don't. It's assets over liabilities. Straight assets over liabilities. So you see that flashy car? They know that it drops in value every second that you drive it out the lot. But a solid investment, that's money working for you 24/7. That's the difference, right, between looking rich and actually being rich. And if you're serious about building wealth, this is where the game really starts to change. Let's keep going. This next one might surprise you. So, fact 4, most millionaires drive modest cars. So you see earlier on, right? Remember that question I hit you with at the start? What do most millionaires in the UK actually drive? Are you ready for the answer? 60% of millionaires drive Toyotas. And right behind that, Hondas and Fords. No Lambos, no Bentleys, no G-Wagons, just regular, reliable cars that get them from A to B and that don't drain the pockets. Because millionaires understand something that most people miss. Flashing your money isn't the same as having money. So let me give you a quick stat. The average new car payment in the UK is around £550 a month. Now imagine instead of flexing with that payment, you actually invested that in an index fund at 9% a year, return for 20 years. You'd have over £300,000. Listen to that again, over £300,000. Okay, that's just in car payments. So when people say I'm broke, no, you're not broke. You're just financing your flex. Millionaires don't fall for that trap. Okay, they'd rather build wealth than pretend to have it. Right? So let's get into that final stat, because this one ties everything together. Fact 5, most millionaires live below the means. This one might shock some people, but it's the truth. I say this one all the time. According to The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley, 94% of millionaires live modestly. They're not out here blowing money to impress strangers. They're focused on their goals, their families, their freedom, and they're building wealth quietly. They don't care about looking rich. They care about actually being rich. That's the difference. Now, don't get it twisted. Not every millionaire lives like this, but most do. And here's the real problem though, right? Social media has completely warped our perception of wealth. We see people flexing, like I say, the designer fits, the luxury cars, and the dream vacations, and we assume they've made it. That's what it is, straight up. But let's be real. If flexing made you rich, we'd all be millionaires by now. So there you have it, guys. 5 surprising millionaire stats that prove that stealth wealth is the real game most millionaires are playing. So you let me know in the comments which one shocked you the most. And if you're on your own path to building wealth, I rate that honestly. Big respect. But just remember this. Quiet money is real money. You don't need to flex it. Just build it. Move smart, move in silence. And we're back soon. We out.